the service delivery.
Okay. Thank you very much. And from the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, I am sure that we all know what a public relations officer does. However, just to shed a light, could you paint a picture of your mandate as UBOS?
Okay.
Yes.
First of all, my role is to ensure that people get to know about census, and not only census but also all other censuses and surveys that are within the mandate of Uganda Bureau of Statistics. For purposes of our viewers this evening to understand the role and function of Uganda Bureau of Statistics is that we were established by an Act of Parliament of 1998 that established the Uganda Bureau of Statistics Act.
Okay.
And it is called UBOS, as people call it in short. So our mandate, first of all, is to conduct censuses and surveys. We collect data, process data, and disseminate official statistical information that supports government planning, policy formulation, and evidence-based decision making. Over and above, quality statistics is very crucial in planning, and you know you can term a country without data as like a bird that has no wings, because it can't fly.
Okay.
You need data, you need statistics, you need information in order for you to know where you have been, where we are, and where we are going.
Okay.
And therefore, based on that mandate, we would like to thank the government of Uganda for availing resources to undertake the National Population and Housing Census 2024. This is a program that is recognized worldwide by the UN family, and every country is expected to conduct a population census after every 10 years.
Okay.
We last conducted the census in 2014. Our population was estimated at 34.6 million people. As we speak now, the Bureau is estimating Uganda's population at 46.5 million people. But of course, this is going to be evidenced by the data that we are going to collect during the census undertaking.
Okay.
Therefore, it is very important that as a country and as citizens of this country, and whoever will be spending a night, or what we call the census night in Uganda, within the boundaries of Uganda, should be among those to be included in our population count of this National Population and Housing Census.
Okay. Thank you so much. Now, Mr. Okoth, let's start with statistics. As you've mentioned, when you carried out the statistics in 2014, was it very effective? Even these other census that you carry out after, not the main census, but I'm sure there are surveys you do to find out, you know, how many people you have in an area and all. Does this really impact the way that government delivers its services, or is it just hearsay?
You see, we must first of all diffuse the misconception that, you know, government just does things the way they want to do. That is not right. The government plans based on the information which is authentic, which is evidence-based. This information which is evidence-based can only be guaranteed through censuses and surveys, and these are scientific measures that we can be able to understand and appreciate how the performance of our policy issues, the performance of government interventions, when you talk of PDM, when you talk of all these other national and international development plans, the sustainable development goals, all these big investments that the government is trying to do in order to uplift the population, the life of our people, it should be based on evidence. And you know, this is when you can tell that because of this intervention or because of this survey, the government has been able to do something in this line. For example, when you look at the distribution of mosquito nets were distributed because of certain indicators. For example, Uganda Bureau of Statistics conducted the Uganda Demographic and Health Survey in 2016. The similar survey has been conducted after a period of 5 years. We released the UDHS report 2022 recently, and of course these provide very empirical evidence on how much the government has invested in as far as trying to stop malaria prevalence in our country. We all know that malaria has been a very serious disease that is affecting as many population as possible, and we are losing so many children and all other categories of the population due to this disease. Now, because of the Uganda Demographic Health Survey indicators that UBOS provided, the Ministry of Health is able to pick up this data and make good use of it. So our role is first of all to ensure that we provide reliable quality statistics and give this information to the respective stakeholders, the users. For example, we undertook the census of agriculture, the animal census of agriculture, the animal census, I mean, and of course these figures of course are very important in informing policies, especially in the agriculture sector, the animal industry, in terms of provision of vaccination and any other form of treatment, the diseases that affect cows and goats and all that. So these are very important statistics that the UBOS provides. And we are very confident that now undertaking the National Population Housing Census is going to give the country the latest information on demographic characteristics of its population.
Wow, I think we see why it's very necessary for such people to come and shed a light on some of the things that we don't understand. And I'll cross to Mr. Galabuzi. I would pose a question and say, why census? I don't know how you can explain to us why it's necessary for a country like Uganda to undergo census.
Yeah, why census, as you may recap, even recently, His Excellency the President talked about it, and he majorly focuses on 4 areas. One of it, the number. How many people do we have in the country of Uganda? It's important to know the people who is living in the country, whom we give the service delivery. Secondly, where they are, especially people are located in different sectors or departments or districts, so the service delivery need to find them there. Thirdly, how do they survive in their time, especially do they have food, do they have shelter, do they have jobs? And more so these days, job, especially in the youth, is an issue. Last than where the major service delivery for local government, the service, where do they get the services, especially the education services or health services, water, safe water, and the roads. So that's majorly why we have census. If we know the number of people and whom to give the services, such as those one of you have mentioned, that's why we are carrying out census.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Okoth, as you add to why census, could you also tell us the readiness status? Where are we as, where are you as Uganda Bureau of Statistics as per the readiness to start out this process that we expect to start on the night of 9th, crossing through to 10th, yeah?
Yeah, of course, in terms of preparedness, I should say that this has not been a one-day occasion. We have been preparing and organizing for census for over the last 2 years. Of course, this started with consultative meetings. We had consultative meetings with different stakeholders as we're trying to develop the questionnaires to ensure that we have a comprehensive questionnaire that is inclusive of the current needs of this country. For example, we have questions on the population, we have questions on the immigration or migration of people, we have questions about the refugees. Uganda has been recognized as one of the biggest host country for refugees. We have questions on refugees. Now we also have questions on clans, we have questions on the religion and several others. So this preparation has been undertaking place for quite a number of times. We also did what we call pilot census. This is now where we test the infrastructure to ensure that when we come to the real enumeration period for the main census activity, all the infrastructure are well put in place and are able to deliver quality statistical information. We pre-tested this using a highly populated district, for example, a city. We also tested it in a hard-to-reach area. We also tested it in a border point district. we also tested it in an area that may not have the best services for the internet. And of course, this was to guide our planning in the future and ensuring that implementation of census is well done in an order that the country can be sure that the UBOS will be able to produce and disseminate quality statistical information that can support better planning processes.
Okay.
In addition to that, we've also had to train people. Training of people at national level. We trained over 700 district staff in Munyonyo. And of course, the purpose of this exercise was, one, to equip them, provide them skills and knowledge about the questionnaires, but also to ensure that they understand how to use the digital technology that we are applying in this particular census of 2024. We are using copies. These are computer-assisted personal interview devices. That we are now moving away from the paper questionnaire that has been for the many past years of censuses that we have done, that we have always collected data using the paper questionnaire. So this training was very effective, and of course UBOS is proud of all these participants who came from all the districts and cities in this country, that they were able to go back well equipped with knowledge. They were requested to ensure that they pass out this information to other levels of training. For example, we trained people at the district level. As I speak now, we are concluding training of people at the sub-county level. These are now the sub-county parish supervisors. We have the enumerators. These are the real soldiers, the foot soldiers who are going to be moving home to home, house to house, or household to household, and collecting these pieces of information to ensure that we can be able to update the country with the latest statistics about its population. So in terms of readiness, first of all, we have gotten all the tablets that we expected to have to use during this exercise. These tablets all have been brought into the country, all have been programmed, and all the districts and cities have been delivered to these tablets. And I can assure you that as we speak now, the people who are undergoing the training are ably using the very tablets that they're going to be using during the data collection. So this is how far we've gone. In terms of publicity, of course, we are here enjoying this space and airtime, that we're able to inform our population, to inform every citizen, to inform everyone who's within the boundaries of Uganda, and those who will be spending that census night within the boundaries of Uganda, to be prepared, to be sure that at least they should be part of this exercise, because this is a one-time exercise that happens after every 10 years. Remember, the next census will be conducted after another 10 years. So it is very critical that as the population within the country, we're able to take this exercise very seriously and ensure that we participate very actively, ensure that we provide correct and accurate information to the field staff. We should not deny them any information, because when we deny them the information, then we are denying ourselves the services. The services that would come out of the quality data that we shall be sharing in few months to come is going to be determined by the level of response that we are going to be getting from the community. So the response rate should be at its 100%. The rate at which we are opening up and ensuring that we are providing the right information with our field staff is very important, because that is what is going to inform the final results of this exercise. So that's why, in terms of readiness, I can say that for sure we are ready. We want to thank the President for endorsing the census on the 12th of December last year. We want to thank the Cabinet for gazetting the census night and gazetting that a census will be undertaken as based on the Uganda Bureau of Statistics Act.
Wow. All right. Mr. Galavuzi, anything to add on the progress so far? Because now you are our case study, Wakiso as a district is what we are looking at now. And if you might add anything on the progress that we have going so far.
Progress so far, also we had special arrangements with the different institutions like defense, police force, and the prison. Also, they are going to be part of the enumerators. There will be self-accounting. So defense will account their people. And also people in the custody, like a police, we've trained people and the prison will be enumerating the people in the custody. On the other hand, countrywide, publicity has been done, all information has been disseminated, all vans are moving around the country, including Wakisa and Kampala. You know, Wakisa and Kampala, they are the heart of the country. If you move around everybody, even this TV, it's part of the activity going on.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Okoth, we saw a headline in the papers and it said that the Uganda Bureau of Statistics has prepared a questionnaire with 180 questions. And we want to look at, first of all, is this true, and is that what we should expect, that a Ugandan out there is going to be asked those questions, and is it for each household that your members, the members of the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, visit?
You know, a national population and housing census is this one particular activity that provides detailed information about the population and their related characteristics.
Okay.
The housing conditions, the status of the level of education in that household, the economic activity that a household is involved in, the number of deaths that a household has experienced in perhaps the last 5 years.
Oh. Okay.
The number of people from that household who could be living abroad. These are captured for purposes of knowing how many Ugandans live abroad and why they leave our country and go to other countries.
Okay.
So a national population and housing census is a benchmark of many other surveys. It is rich in information and data. And that is why, as a household, as a community, we must prepare to answer some of these questions. I do not want to scare our population that these questions are so many. These questions are only very vital and very important, that all of us must be able to respond to. I can assure you that the census data is going to provide a benchmark for so many other activities in this country, and for so many other surveys that the UBOS will be undertaking going forward after we have disseminated these results. So, in that respect, it is very crucial that we prepare our minds. But of course, overall, my brother Pade made a summary that the president gave when he launched the census. He said the census will help us to know how many we are, where we are. For example, where is this kind of population? Is it in this district? Is it in this sub-county? Is it in this village? How are they living? How are they affected? Which kind of housing structures do they live in? Is it a permanent roof? Is it a semi-permanent? Is it a grass-thatched house? Okay?
Yes.
What kind of services do they access as a household, as a community? Do they have a hospital next to them? Do they have a primary school? Do they have church? Do they access safe drinking water? These are very important questions that the census is going to be responding to and is seeking to establish. Now, what do they own? When we ask about what you own, we want to know, do you have a bicycle in your household? Do you have a motorcycle in your household? Do you have a car? And of course, why do we want to know this information? Because these are means of movement. They help you to go to a hospital. They help you to access a banking service. They help you to go to a police station. They help you to access a health facility. Because if a health facility is very far from you and you have a sick child and you need to rush the hospital, how do you reach the hospital? And if the hospital is very far from you, then what does it mean in terms of planning? For Pade, what does it mean to him as a district planner? For the government, what does it mean to the government? That we must bring services closer to our people. We must find a way of saving the life of children who are walking 10 kilometers to access a primary school. We must save the life of our mothers who are likely to give birth by bringing a health center for closer to them, a health center closer to them, a hospital closer to them. We must ensure that these services are easily accessible. How? We must provide a good maram road, a well-paved road, a tarmac road, a car can access. That's why the census, I told you that it provides a benchmark for many other surveys and activities. And therefore it provides very, very comprehensive information that we must consume as citizens. It provides information that even us in our households, we must be able to use it to plan for ourselves. For example, if you have 10 children in your household, do you have to buy 1 kilo of meat?
Of course not.
You cannot. You need to buy maybe 3 kilos of meat. That's when the children are able to eat meat and they feel satisfied. Similar happens to the government. If the government knows that Wakiso has a population of 2 million people, then what does it mean? I must then plan for the population of 2 million people. And also have a projection that perhaps in the next 10 years, there will be 3 million. As UBOS also, we provide what we call projections. We do annual population projection.
You predict.
We predict, we foresee, and we give the respective ministries this information. The National Planning Authority must have this information. That as we plan for the fourth development, National Development Plan, as now we are crossing from the third and getting to the fourth, the authority is able to plan accordingly because of how the population is progressing economically, service provision, and if there is any part of the population that is being left behind, then how would we plan for them? We cannot plan for them blindly. We must plan for them from the scientific way of doing things, that we are able to tell that this district has this number of children below 5 years, has this number of children who are youths, has this population that are youths, has this population of the elderly, has this population of age group between this and this. And you know that's how UBOS is going to disseminate this information, that you are able to tell the number of children below the age of 5 in a particular district, in a particular sub-county. We have what we call constituency profiles. We want our politicians to have discussion based on data. It is very absurd to say politician, an honorable member of parliament, or LC5 chairperson discussing issues which need data, but is guessing. We cannot continue to live in a guessing world. We must live in a world that is evidence-based. If these are the number of population of my area that are affected by mosquitoes, then I need mosquito nets for them. I must be able to lobby and get mosquito nets for them. If my roads cannot be accessed using a vehicle, now what if a mother wants to give birth? Meaning that an ambulance cannot access.
True.
Therefore, the planning issue is very fundamental. And that planning can only be done using reliable data and statistical information. That's why we're here.
Interesting. I know that half of the viewers, you lost them at giving out the information to other ministries. Now for them, they are going to think you're giving out their information because you say the information is confidential, and now you say giving out their information to other ministries. You'll clear the air.
Let me clear. Let me clear. Reason is, we do not give information on individual. We disseminate what we call unaggregated data.
That's what I want us to discuss when we come back
okay.
after the short break. So thank you so much for being a part of Family Hour. We are still discussing the upcoming National Housing and Population Census 2024. Remember, the last one was done in 2014, and it's high time we had another one. For the reasons that you have heard from these gentlemen, I'm sure it's a very, very beautiful discussion and you are enjoying. Don't forget our social media platforms at COU Family TV, including YouTube, where we are live, and you can go and tell us what you think about this discussion. We'll be back. Stay with us.
Family TV, enriching lives.
when you are sealed in the Lord, the devil looks at you and you are glittering. The devil locates a crown. For any person that the devil locates with a crown, the devil will never eat them because they belong to the Most High.
Friends, don't you give up in any form of hardship. Don't you give up, for Jesus encourages us and says, even at the point of losing your life, for the sake of Christ and the gospel, it is okay.
My dear brothers and sisters, let us remember that God is still reigning on his throne in heaven above. And let us trust in him. Let us rely on him. Let us pray each and every time. Let us not give up on showing ourselves out into the world that the Lord Jesus Christ is still King and he still reigns.
You and I are here to reign on the earth, not to complain, not to grumble, not to play victim, not to quarrel, but to reign on the earth.
I pray, Father, that you will release the fourth man to destroy every fire, to protect your people who are in every furnace and set them free in the name of Jesus.
Ramesses, you grew up together, close as brothers.
Remember their prophecy. Samson, chosen by the living God.
You dare to defy me? Let the furnace be heated sevenfold. Bind them and cast them into the fire.
It begins.
Take the ark!
Safe screens, safe kids.
My name is the Right Reverend Paul Kipto Masava, the current bishop of the Diocese of Sebei, Kapchorwa, which covers also Kwen and Bukwa. I'm a parent and I have children. You know, if we don't teach our children the way they should live right now, somebody else will teach for you. They will learn from the TV, they will learn from the phones, they will learn from their friends, they will learn from the maids, and they will learn from the public. So it's my right moment to call upon every parent to be responsible. We need to guide our children on how they should live. Now we are living in a .com world. We cannot do away with phones, we cannot do away with the TV, but we must help our children to understand that if we misuse them, then we shall get bad things from the phones. We shall see bad things from the TV. Every parent should be responsible. What are your children watching on the TV? At what time? If we realize that we are having some channels that are not good in our TVs, then we should scrap them off. And then we should help our children also to use their phones positively.
Fellow countrymen and women, especially the Bazukuru, as we work towards realizing Uganda's Vision 2040, it is important that we plan based on accurate information about our people and our resources. I therefore would like to announce the 6th National Population and Housing Census that will start on the 10th of May 2024. The information from the National Population and Housing Census will support government, the private sector, cultural and religious institutions, civil society, and development partners in service delivery. It will also provide the basis for planning the provision of social services such as education, health, and transport, among many others, at the national and local levels. When data collectors or enumerators come to your home during the census, please avail yourselves and provide them with honest answers to their questions. This is in order to enable them to process the most accurate information about you, your household, institutions, and community. I therefore call upon all political, cultural, and religious leaders, private sector players, civil society, the media, and the institutions of the government support this key national program. The successful execution of this census will influence the well-being of all Ugandans and progress the country towards the desired socio-economic transformation. I wish you all a successful census for God and my country.
We're glad you're still watching Church of Uganda Family TV, and of course we are glad that you are enjoying the conversation. We are seeing the tweets and the messages on YouTube, and we encourage you to keep on. Remember that this is Church of Uganda Family TV, where we enrich your lives each and every day, and our content is very, very safe for you to watch with your children, with your in-laws, and you will not get embarrassed. And of course that is a mandate and something that we are looking forward to and giving our all to make sure that you receive exactly what you should be receiving, because we know that these days the media is crazy. But anyway, getting back to our topic of today, we are discussing the upcoming National Housing and Population Census 2024. So on the night of 9th, you might receive some visitors at home that are going to find you in your relaxed mode and ask you a number of questions. This census is going to take some time, so don't think they're just going to ask you your name and what you do and then they go away. No, give them time, welcome them first of all very well. Gentlemen, last month I think, no, this month, but at the start, I hosted somebody from Ubos who told us the unfortunate incidences that when some people are carrying out census, the Ubos officials, people release dogs to them, because they think they are intruders who have come to, who have not come in the right light. And we are noticing that this is not true, as we are getting from these officials that the information that you are going to give them, first of all, is safe, and it will not be shared by people who are not supposed to access it. Do not think that they are asking you questions so that they know how much to tax you, or they remember to tax you in case they have not been. No, that is not the reason why the census is happening. So please stay home. It has been declared a public holiday, though I don't know which one is the public holiday, 10th?
10th, Friday 10th.
Exactly. The 10th has been declared a public holiday by the President of Uganda, General Museveni, to allow us as a country be at home and relaxed, so that you can be counted and you give your information without any disturbances of I have to run to work, I have to go, I'm not around. You understand? So if they find you, if the Ubos officials find you home, feel very free to give them the information that they require. We ended while we were talking about some issues, matters affecting the census that is upcoming. And I remember Mr. Okoth mentioned that this information, some of it will be shared with other government entities, of course, to help in planning. He's going to shed more light on that. But before we get there, maybe Mr. Galabuzi had something to add onto that before we cross to the next.
Yes, you talked about too many questions. Some of these questions, they are precise. Many of these questions, they are precise, short and precise, like sex. And even we may not ask them. Okay. Like you can't ask, what is your sex?
So of course, it's obvious.
Once you've given us your name, but of course, it's say we shall confirm that you were a lady or you were a gentleman. Okay. But on the other hand, they are very interesting. They will be like logical. It will be something like a conversation. Even when somebody is busy, we can come closer, like those housewife. The person can go where they are working from, and then they start chatting. Or even when you are too busy to complete the question, we have the 10 days. We can give you a period and give an appointment, and we come back to that question. Okay. Yeah, we don't want to say that it will be a burden to you. Something very interesting. Like if we ask so many questions, also you are free to ask, why are you asking? For instance, like if I ask your age, many people are missing the money for elderly, especially when we don't know their age and so forth. You see? Even the children. There's other interesting question. This time, last previous session we were asking, are you disabled? Yes or no? But this time we'll go further and know which kind of disability is. So is it hearing, or are you albino? We separate it so that when we come back for a solution, we are so specific. And also like Kampala and so forth, we are now even using GIS to pick the point where the households are. It's no longer asking if there's any case like which need fire brigade to come. You start telling, if you reach there, you go down, but we can just get people by the code. So it's very interesting and more details, but with the precise.
Okay. Beautiful. Let's shed a light on the data confidentiality that we had earlier mentioned. I know what you meant when you said you'll share the information with some other government officials, but maybe somebody out there didn't understand it, and they need you to assure them that their data is very, very safe in the hands of Uganda Bureau of Statistics and its team.
I would like to assure the public and the viewers on behalf of UBOS, and of course on behalf of our Census Commissioner, who is also the Executive Director, Uganda Bureau of Statistics, Dr. Chris Mukiza, that the data, first of all, is safe in terms of transmission. We have developed capacity to ensure that there is high level of data security. Remember, this is a digital census, and we're going to be sending information from wherever we are to the data center for processing.
Okay.
So the Bureau has developed a very strong team in terms of infrastructure, data scientists, to ensure that the data is safe. Secondly, when we are disseminating statistics, we do not disseminate information on individuals. That is ours, data processing. And we have the highest level, and we respect the highest level of confidentiality as it is provided in our Act of 1998 in terms of data management. So as we manage data, we ensure that people's privacy is kept very confidential. People's information are kept very confidential. So in that regard, the public should be rest assured that first of all, their information is safe. It will not be shared with anybody as an individual. No. The data will be shared or disseminated as an aggregated information. Total number of children below 5 years, the total number of elderly, the total number of male in this country, the total number of female, unemployed, whatever, and so on and so on and so forth. So that is how statistics is managed. And this is by international standard. By international standard, that data must be managed in that way.
So you will not say...
In addition to our act as the Bureau, which mandates us to collect censuses and survey the information, we must still stick to the international standard of data management, processing and dissemination. And that is our area.
So you won't say, Navatanzi matter of this place, this is her information?
No, that will not happen. In fact, it is a big crime if it ever happened. It is such a big crime. That is why even our enumerators, the field staff whom we have recruited, that PADA has trained, they must swear the oath of secrecy that whichever information they are going to collect from different households, they are not going to share with anybody. And if they did so, the law must catch up with them, because they shall have sworn this oath of secrecy, that what I am going to do is confidential and it is for statistical purposes only. So if someone comes now to his friend and says, you know what, the information I collected there is this, should we get that information, you are liable to go through the laws of this country as far as statistics is concerned.
And unlike before, where we're using paperwork, whereby someone can read on what you've written down, this time is not the case.
It is not.
Once you've got the information, the little time you have with the interview, you to go through to ensure that it's correct. Once it has gone, you'll never see it again.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. Now, also, I would like you to, you know, there are people on social media who mislead others. They are ignorant, so they want other people to join them in their ignorance.
Yes.
So someone will post I just saw a post that somebody said, this is not census, guys. It is just a political head count for people to know, for these officials to know how many people will vote come 2026. So I don't agree with them. Do you agree with them?
You know, those are perceptions and misconceptions that we should dispel. And I already said earlier that by all international standards, every country is expected to conduct census.
Yes.
Are you getting me? So I do not understand the view of that particular individual trying to confuse the public, especially at this critical time, that we need people to participate in the census. It is a high time that we should instead rally our people towards this cause. We should all become patriotic citizens and patriotic people living in Uganda, that we should learn to associate with what is of national importance. A census is a national important exercise. It is not associated to any political aspect. In fact,
you are
both. In fact, I want to say this: whether you are an opposition or you are a government, you still need what? Information. You still need statistical data. We should not politicize census. In fact, it is very wrong for someone to start politicizing this exercise. That means that that human being does not hold the love for this country.
True.
If we hold the love for this country, then we must all enjoy and be part of this exercise.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And that's why I'm talking about the aspect of patriotism. We must learn to love our country as Uganda. We are Ugandans. And even for those who are not Ugandans but they live in Uganda, they should love this country. Because they are here. They're enjoying the peace, the good weather, the climate that all of us also enjoy. So we must learn to be patriotic. We must learn to associate with issues of national importance like census. We are going for mass enrollment of national ID. Should people start saying that it is a political exercise? We should have IDs.
And point of information,
are we together?
Whereby you see a number of fabricators. We don't know where they are. They want to be supported, but if they are not counted, they will be missing the chance. So, secondly, even we are during the where we're coming for elections, people will not be in the system may have a challenge because now we are digitizing. Remember, we used to say that you count and then you put papers there, but this time it will be in the system already. It will be just generating, electoral commission will be just generating information, summary information about your allocation, and then you'll be part of the game.
So, Carol, just to add on what Paddy has said, of course, the census information feeds into other activities of the government.
Very true.
Yes, it
Very
does.
normal.
That's why I already said that a census is a benchmark of so many other undertakings, including election. But even election is a fundamental activity that is provided for in our constitution. So when people are going to participate in an election, it's not like it is a myth, neither it is a miracle, but it is a must happen after every 5 years. That's the aspect of democracy that other people, part of the public, keep advocating for. So the census provides a benchmark information that feeds into other activities of this country, whether it is education, whether it is health, whether it is the agriculture. We all need this statistical information for us to generate better planning, for us to generate better policies that can see us improve year in, year out. By the time we are carrying out the next census, the country should be somewhere. We shouldn't be still having small feeder roads that is only accessible by, a pedestrian.
Sure.
You get me?
Yes.
Our population is increasing every day. We must widen these roads so that cars can move, motorcycles. You see how sometimes we get congested. But now, we cannot plan. The government cannot plan if it does not know the influx of our population, the progression that keeps happening each and every day. That's why we need the census. And that's why for me, from the Bureau, I would really encourage and call upon our leaders to rally their people, to rally their population. We had a very good meeting with the Interreligious Council. They organized for us a very good meeting where we had a number of religious denominations and leaders coming from different parts of the country. We organized that meeting with them at Sheraton recently. And I want to thank the Archbishop of Church of Uganda, Dr. Kazimba.
Yes.
He actually endorsed the census. He said, as the religious, we are going to support and ensure that our subjects participate actively in the census.
Okay.
And this is what we expect from all other leaders. We recently met the Archbishop of Kampala, Dr. Paul Semogerere, and he said, yes guys, let's come out, let's be ready. We met the Katikiro on behalf of Buganda Kingdom.
Wow.
And it was, all welcoming. Today my executive director was meeting the king of Bosoga.
Yes.
And I can assure you there is a lot of massive support to the census. Last week he was in Rwenzururu, he was in Toro. We have had a meeting with Omokama. All these leaders have come out to say, guys, let's be part of this exercise. We need it. As the religious, they need to know their population.
Okay.
As cultural institutions, they need to know how many Baganda they have, how many Banyoro they have, how many Batoro, and so on and so forth. So we all need this exercise.
Very true.
To be successful. For it to be successful, we must participate actively. And we must encourage our people to participate actively by providing accurate information.
Okay.
And not to chase our field staff. I want again to say that all our field staff are going to be wearing their names here. They're going to be having name tags
and t-shirts.
And they'll be identifiable.
Yeah, because someone can come.
Yes, someone
claiming.
can come claiming that he's a census staff, and yet he's a wrong character. And actually want to encourage the public that those cases must be reported to the nearest police station, because we do not want people to diffuse the census and mix it up with other things which are wrong. That's why we are working very closely with all the institutions, the security institution, the ISO, the UPDF, the police and prisons, and we are working together to ensure that we have a successful exercise.
Okay.
So every field staff must have a name tag.
Okay.
We have put a device on that name tag which can easily be proven whether it is authentic or it is fake. That device, if you scanned it, you'll be able to know that it is authentic. It will of course bring you the census logo. It will also bring you the signing officer, the signatory. Yes.
Very beautiful. Now we have about 5 minutes to wrap up, and I'm wondering how you're going to access these big gates that have barbed wire, and they reach people that some of them are neighbors, but we've never even seen them. But that's for you as UBOS to come up with solutions. We have 4 minutes to go, and I just want us to wrap up the conversation, starting with Mr. Galabuzi. Your last words.
To start with that question, we've already mobilized those people. They are with us, and most of them by there they are security team, but they are the one who are spearheading the census. But lastly, what I wanted to encourage people, especially the planners and the local leaders, that census is for us to get us informed decisions. So it's going to help the local leaders how government should allocate them resources based on the number of population they have and households. Lastly, it's going to help us to identify where those people can be found, especially with difficulties, people with PWDs, the ladies who want the money for UWEP, then the unemployed people, even the unemployed, like both skilled and not skilled. We've got a number of high-skilled people with PhD, but they are jobless.
Yes.
So this time government will find where they are and they plan for them.
Okay, thank you so much. As we end, Mr. Okoth Didacus.
For me, it is very simple. On behalf of Uganda Bureau of Statistics and its leadership, headed by the Census Commissioner, Dr. Chris Ndatiramukiza, I would like to urge Ugandans and all the people who live in this country that come the night of 9th May 2024. If that night finds you within this boundary, please participate in the census. I want again to say that we're not going to count anybody at night. No. The census is going to be undertaken in a broad daylight. You know, people, when we talk about the census night, some people are not understanding it.
Yeah.
They think we're going to be counting people during night. No. This exercise will start on 10th, which is a census public holiday, and will run for the next 10 days to ensure that everyone is counted and every household is included in this exercise. So no one should come to your household at night and say, you know, I'm a field staff, I'm from census. What? No. The exercise will be done during day, and all of us must participate during day.
Will you be counted?
Why not?
All right, Mr. Galabs, you wanted to add something?
Just one word to thank Family TV.
Oh,
this is our
you.
TV. Really, I'm so delighted to be hosted by this TV. This is my first time.
Thank
we
you
pray
so
that
much.
you invited this more and more.
Obviously.
We encourage people to watch this TV.
Thank you so much. Thank you, gentlemen. Anything?
Of course, as Mr. Galabas has put it, I must appreciate our viewers and, of course, the management of Family TV.
Thank you so
I want
much.
to thank the Church of Uganda for providing us with this very big platform, very special platform, that we are able to communicate a message of this kind to the population and all the viewers this evening. And, of course, I know you guys are very generous. I think even tomorrow we are having another talk show here.
Wow.
I think in the morning by 9 o'clock. So again, I want to encourage the viewers to tune in and actually keep spot on and be able to pick a lot of information about census so that they are well versed with this exercise.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, and thank you for being so smart. You guys are very smart. And thank you to our viewer for keeping it Church of Uganda Family TV. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., please join Luke Adenaite Majumba as he takes you through the discussion on, the census, the national population and housing census happening on the 9th and 10th through for 10 days. Yeah, so for 10 days you're counting from 10th, right?
From 10th
to 19th.
To 19th, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is the period of the upcoming census. Please do stay with us. We do have a string of programs coming your way. Thank you so much to the crew I've worked with, Norman Conte and producer Jonah Jal, and myself, Karen Norman Tuwine. From us to you, it is a lovely night.
This is Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives.